Congratulations
But
on Do You Hear the People Sing, which will now premiere in an iconic and landmark amphitheater in America, the Hollywood Bowl. Can you talk about the personal significance of that to you as a producer?
yeah, it's a milestone in anybody's career, right? It's not something that I think you'll ever take off your CV. It's a big deal for anybody that I was there a couple of weeks ago, and there was a marquee for the show outside the venue, and I wanted to go and take a picture of it. I was kind of a bit embarrassed, so I kind of I was talking to the security guard, and he said, "No, no, the biggest stars in the world walk down and take that picture with their name on the marquee at the Hollywood Bowl. It's a big deal for everyone. It's an icon. It's a world icon."
It has been more than a decade since you premiered Do You Hear the People Sing at the Shanghai Grand Theater with Lea Salonga and Michael Ball. Can you talk about that and also how the show has brought you to Taipei, Manila, Sydney at the renowned Sydney Opera House, no less, and now in Los Angeles at the famed Hollywood Bowl?
It's exciting. And I first met with Alain Boublil and Claude Michel Schoenberg 12 years ago I met with Alain in New York first and pitched this idea of adapting the concert which had been touring with symphony orchestras in the States, but adapting it and having my own kind of version of it. And I was a fairly new producer at that time, so they were very supportive and very kind to let me have a go at it. And we tried. For 10 years we tried to do it in Australia, and it's always something that was delaying it. COVID being one of the major things. But during that time, we had the option to do it in China, and that was the first one we did with Michael Ball and Lea Salonga and Australian theatre stars Amanda Harris and David Harris and Marie Zamora, who is in the Hollywood Bowl with us, and she was the original Cosette in Paris. So she sings all the beautiful French songs. Um, and yeah, from there, the show was very well received, and obviously they're the best songs in the world. So it's just gone from strength to strength, and now it feels like we've hit, like I say, another milestone playing at the Hollywood Bowl.
And what were your best memories of presenting Do You Hear the People Sing at the Resorts World Manila with Lea Salonga, David Harris, and Marie Zamora?
God, I That's probably one of the proudest moments of my career, that week in Manila, because we raised three-quarters of a million Australian dollars, so a little over half a million US dollars, to build 200 homes and a schoolroom had been devastated after Typhoon Yolanda. So from that side, it was a wonderful achievement. But I also got to be in Manila with Leia, where she's an absolute cultural icon, as she is everywhere, um, and meet all these great Filipino artists who have been involved with Miss Saigon since the very, very first day. So we had this. So it wasn't just David and Marie and Leia. We had Menchu Lachenko Yulo, Michael Williams, Carla Guevara, all these people who've been involved in the show coming with us. Leo Valdez, of course, uh, coming to offer their support and help us make some money for this charity. So it was a really, really great week. And we're doing it again in August this year.
And how much fun did you have coming up with the list of artists for the Hollywood Bowl version of To Hear the People Sing?
But
Starting with Patrick Wilson.
yeah, I've been a huge fan of Patrick Wilson's for a long time, decades probably. And he's one of those people that he's got one of the finest musical theatre voices around. But because of his huge success in movies, people are always a bit surprised. And I don't know why, because he was in the Phantom of the Opera movie. He was Raoul in that. And he's an absolutely beautiful singer, but a really, really lovely person and a great star, which is a rare combination. So, and then we've also got Skylar Aston, it's an amazing cast for an amazing venue. But we've got Skylar Aston and Emily Bautista and John Briones, and Rachel Tucker did the show in Australia as well. She's a force of nature as well. She's a great West End star. She just finished playing Norma Desmond in that the famous new Sunset Boulevard, with Nicole Scherzinger. She was Nicole Scherzinger's alternate. And yeah, it's just we can't quite believe our luck, and it's going to fill this glorious venue with these amazing songs.
And speaking of John and Emily, what made you decide on them among the artists? Where did you see John and Emily perform for the first time?
I saw Emily on Broadway with Cycle Gone, and I saw then she was the cover came in on Broadway, and then took over the role on the US tour, and then played Eponine on the US tour of Les Mis, and it's just finished playing Eponine on at the movie, and excuse me, John I, is one of the most famous engineers that Saigon has ever had, one of the best engineers Saigon's ever had. I saw him in London and on Broadway and on the DVD. So there's nobody like him. He's incredible. He could completely reimagined the role and made it his own. And he'd been involved with Miss Saigon since 1989, since the very first London production. So he's got form with this show.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems Marie Zamora is the one who has appeared in all your productions of Do Hear the People Sing. Can you talk about that? And is Marie the show's lucky charm in that case?
She is. She was the obvious. She is the obvious choice for the French songs. Like I say, she created the role of Cosette in Paris, and she's had a great career there. She was at Barnum and Kiss Me Kate. She's toured all over the world with Michel Legrand, who's one of another great composer. Um, and yeah, she was. We we get on well, and we like having her. We like having her as part of the company. So
What are you
it's
most
good that
excited
she says
about this
yes.
show at the Hollywood Bowl?
Sorry, say that again.
What are you most excited about this show at the Hollywood Bowl? Which one excites you? Which aspect excites you?
Um, I think it's the personal and professional milestone of seeing a show that you co-created and with my musical idols, a show that I had very proud to have been able to build with them over these years, and this and also being able to pay tribute to them as well, because like I say, they are my musical idols, and it's a great way to celebrate them, because they should be celebrated, because what they've created in their lives will live on beyond all of us. I think I would say that I think Les Mis will be the show that in 100 years' time people will still be performing it.
And you will also bring back the show exactly a decade later at the Resorts World Manila. Before I ask you about the different cast this time, can you talk about
Okay.
doing the show again in Manila after 10 years?
Yeah, we had such success the last time that when Newport World Resorts, as they're now called, it used to be Resorts World, um, they asked if we could do a 10th anniversary concert. And I jumped at the idea because I had so much fun the last time. And the greatest singers in the world are in the Philippines. Like, I'm Irish. We're supposed to have great singers, but the Philippines are pretty amazing. Um, and so yeah, we've been working on it for almost a year now, and it's coming up. It comes up like 5 days after we're in LA. Timing could have been better, but um, it's going to be pretty great. We've got a completely different cast. Gerard Salonga is conducting it. Uh, Claude Michel will be there with us. Eddie Gray, our director, will be there. And, who else we've got in it? We've got Menchu Lachenko Yulo and Michael Williams are back. Carla Guevara La Forteza's back. They sang. It was Little Cassette in the Les Mis tour. She was discovered by Leia and the Voice Kids. So lots and lots of great people some people I don't know. So some people I'm meeting for the first time, and some people I'm looking forward to reconnecting with and catching up. And it's a great team there. They run a really professional and high quality business. So I'm looking forward to getting back and
And
seeing that
following up
gorgeous theater.
on that, how much fun did you have assembling the cast for this Manila show? A mix of Filipino and international artists. And please also to talk about some of the returning artists from that first show in Manila. Menchelochenko Yulo, Carla Guevara, and Michael Williams.
So this was one of the easiest ones to cast, I think. It just everything it just worked out really, really well. That Abigail Adriano, who's a Filipino Australian, and Nigel Huckle, who's an American Australian, who are both currently starring in Miss Saigon, and they both had huge success in Manila fairly recently, a couple of months ago. And so it was great to be able to ask them back. Bradley Jaden is the hottest kind of young star in the West End at the moment, and we've been looking for a project, and I managed to find this one slot between his. He's just done an international solo concert tour, and he's about to go into Les Mis. The arena spectacular was Chabert. So we found this minute in the schedule that it was free, so that worked. And Amy Manford, who's an Australian American soprano, who's phenomenal. Same thing, we found a slot in her schedule. So they're the international artists, but also we've got 10 Filipino artists who are the best in the country. Like people who, like I say, who've been involved with Miss Saigon from the original London production, like Michael Menchie was in the Manila cast in 2000, the Ellen cover. Carla was, I think, Gigi and Kim cover in London in the 90s. And then we've got Bautista, who's just played Kim on the international tour. Uh, then people who've never been in the shows, but who are phenomenal singers like Armin Ferrer, Jepko, and David Ezra. Between Escalante, who's never, I don't think, been in the show, but is a force of nature. She's going to do a kind of new take on the American dream, which I'm pretty excited about.
You mentioned Gerald Salonga, so can you talk some
Yes,
more about him as the musical director? He's a gifted conductor and musical director.
he is. And however gifted he is as a musician, he's also the nicest person. Every kind of experience that you have with him is fun and easy, and he's a really, really, really nice man, a huge talent. So again, it's not something that we always get to work together. He's conducted the show before on its Asian tour, but it's been a little while since we've worked together. So he's a good man. I'm looking forward to that.
And
They're a
you're a
talented family.
yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So, no, no, that's all those.
Okay. You're a performer yourself, so do you miss performing?
No, I I haven't performed for since I started producing. I realized that I did. You can't really objectively do both at the way I wanted to do it, at least. So I was producing a show that I was in, and then I realized that if I'd been objective, I probably wouldn't have cast myself in it. So I the show was continuing, so I took myself out and replaced myself, fired myself, and kept kept producing. And I knew that when I could watch somebody else do the show, the role that I had created, and not have any kind of pangs of missing it or anything, that it was the right decision. And producing has given me so many blessings and so many gifts over the past years that I'd be mad not to think that it was the best idea I've ever made.
And what's next for you? And what are your dream productions and concerts that you want to produce someday?
But this is the thing about Do You Hear the People Sing? Because Do You Hear the People Sing absolutely is my dream. The one regret that I had when I gave up performing was that I'd never been in Les Mis. I feel like this is a really good payoff for that. The What's next? I'm doing Carousel in Australia in September, so straight from Manila into that. And then we're working on some new Do You Hear the People Sing dates for 2025. And I have another concert that celebrates Stephen Schwartz called Defying Gravity that we're looking at for 2025 as well. So, and I've got another show which I love called Becoming Eliza, which is Anna O'Byrne, who was in the DVD of Love Never Dies. It's an Australian soprano who's phenomenal, played Eliza Doolittle in My Fair Lady in Australia a few years ago now. But it was directed by the original Eliza, Julie Andrews. And Anna has put together this show about that experience, about rehearsing with Julie, with all Julie's music. and that's been playing in Australia now for a little over 2 years. So, and that continues to tour as well. So, I'm keeping busy, but having fun at the same time.
Well, thank you very much, Enda. And good luck with the shows, especially the one at the Hollywood Bowl. And we hope to see
Thank
you
you.
in person soon.
Yes, hope to see you in LA. Nice
Yeah,
to see you.
yeah. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.